Hey y'all, it is October the 14th, 2018, and honestly, I just couldn't help myself. I thought we'd see how far we could get into this article. It's an article that I alluded to in a previous video. Like I said, I just couldn't help myself. Here's the thing: before we hop into the article, before we dive down this rabbit hole, about as far as we can handle or muster, I want to just point out that if you ever see information coming from what's called the Associated Press, what you should do is basically wipe your bottom with it. It really is stupid. It's stupid garbage. And the reason that I want to point that out is because if your journalism is so bad, is so illegitimate that you choose not to put your name on it. All right, then why should I even read it? Why should anybody read it? Why should anybody read it and take it seriously? All right, but with that being said, we're still going to read the article a little bit. Let's see how far we can get. The teacher says Cruz posed as student months before the shooting. So it's the headline, so let's go ahead and read it. Parkland, Florida, if you didn't know. Records released by prosecutors reveal that Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz trespassed on school grounds about 6 months before the massacre. All right, so they're talking about a major massacre where 17 people were getting killed. And now they're bringing up a trespassing incident, which is, by the way, a misdemeanor, which, by the way, probably did not happen at all. But let's just continue a little bit more. A Parkland computer science teacher says, and meanwhile, it's a nameless one. Don't worry, it doesn't need a name. Just a random robotic Parkland computer science teacher says it's a she, saw Cruz on the first day of school in August 2017, ladies and gentlemen. And he was carrying a backpack and, get this, hanging with other students as if he were one of them. I couldn't make this up, you guys. He was kicked out of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School the previous year. Sandra Rennie's interview was released by prosecutors. I guess that's what her name is, Sandra Rennie. All right, so thank you, Associated Press. She said Cruz told her he was a student again, and she welcomed him back, but he immediately asked an administrator whether he was in her classes. So she basically tried to act nice, but also did not want to have anything to do with Nicholas Cruz. All right. She said the administrator left to escort him off school grounds, which I promise you, it's not something that she saw happen. All right. She just assumed that it happened. All right. That's why the article's written this way. Rennie had previously taught Cruz. She said he once became angry because the school computer prevented him from researching different types of hunting guns. The Associated Press ain't nothing but hot garbage because that's the end of the article. All right. This is propaganda 101. You couldn't make it look more obvious. You couldn't, if you put in big bold letters government propaganda at the top, you could not make it more obvious what you're doing here. All right. So, what the story was, and what everybody's already pieced together, is Nicholas Cruz, in fact, was a student at Stoneman Douglas High School on the first day of school. As far as the rest of the school year, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But he certainly was a student at that high school. Who pretends to be a student at high schools? All right, they don't even allude to, they want to insinuate that he was lurking like at school, pretending to be a student so he could figure out ways to like shoot it up or something like this. No, he was a student at the school. All right, this is why the sheriff wouldn't tell you whether or not he was a student at the school. All right, the government propaganda as clear as a bell, you guys. Alright, so anyways, I'll holler at y'all. Documentary's coming out pretty soon. I appreciate y'all. You already know what it is. Holler at me. Let me know what's popping in the streets.